Kovacic getting there in front of Lukaku. Alonso, pressed by the aforementioned Manchester United number 9. Never really hit it off as a Chelsea player. Went out on loan a few times before eventually Everton bought him. And then surprisingly, as the manager who sent him out on loan, Jose Mourinho, then signed him for Manchester United for a lot of money. Didn't seem to be a big fan of him when he was a young Chelsea player. Lindelof, Pogba. Now Young. Mata, who was a Chelsea player the last time Manchester United beat Chelsea here, 2012. It's a chaotic game. Chelsea ended with 9 men. Shaw. Matic.
Actually good defending by Chelsea. They've got a good shape, making it difficult for Manchester United so far.
Hazard, really at the business end of the pitch from Chelsea's point of view. Herrera. Aspilicueta finding N'Golo Kanté. Chelsea have a corner.
It's interesting to watch the movement of Higuain. I always think as a centre forward he'd be running into the 6-yard box, but often when it goes into crossing areas he goes out to the edge of the box, finds that little bit of space where he can get shots away.
Got 2 goals here against Huddersfield in the Premier League. One was from that kind of position. Eden Hazard with the corner. Coming up towards the half-hour mark. By Pogba, knocked on by Mata, and by Rashford, but Jorginho will seize it back. Manchester United starting to push out, just have to put the brakes on a little bit. All the previous 7 fifth-round ties have been won by the team of the 2 in the higher league position. To be all 8 after the Manchester United win here tonight. Aspilicueta. So rarely happens. It's only the 3rd time since the Second World War.
The only thing.
Kind of advantage and league status has been carried on into a successful 5th round FA Cup result.
And Manchester United clear, but only as far as Aspilicueta, who turns it back round the corner. And here's Kanté in the right wing position. He's ball back towards Higuain.
There's better positioning by Alonso and David Luiz as well. I know that Manchester United want to counter-attack through the pace and strength of Lukaku. They both backed off, read the situation well.
Kanté. And the talk of stubbornness from Sarri, many feel that N'Golo Kanté has not played in his best position in this Sarri formation. Jorginho, who has that central midfield role in the middle of the 3.
He's a very good player at just keeping possession, but when you look at his assists, few and far between when he has to play forward, when he's put under a bit of pressure, and he's a particularly good passer of the ball. Here's a bit of holding by Chris Smalling in the box from a set play. Of course, VAR is in operation.
Mata. And again. Rashford's in the middle. Pogba's on the ball. And a late run from Herrera! Manchester United strike first. And the player who was sent off in his last FA Cup game here has a different emotion here. The thrill of scoring the opening goal for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United.
Well, the two players I said had really difficult roles in the side today. Create the goal. First of all, Pogba down the left-hand side. He can manipulate the ball so well to buy himself that little bit of time. And once he got it back onto his right foot, Herrera can just run unmarked forward. He's not being picked up here, but now he starts to see the danger. It's a good combination over on that far side, certainly not offside when Pogba receives the ball. Herrera, Rashford takes Alonso in, he should pass him on to David Luiz. They don't communicate, and suddenly Herrera's round the back, and it's a good header as well. Back across the goalkeeper. What a goal from Manchester United's point of view.
It's a little bit of a throwback for Ander Herrera, who has been more of a spoiling player really in his time at Manchester United, but actually his pedigree as a young player in Spain was as a goal-getting midfield player. Goals just like that one.
But again, you have to question the defensive understanding of Alonso and David Luiz. As soon as Rashford makes the run across Alonso, he's got to pass him on to David Luiz. They both went with him. Herrera comes round the back. Find themselves 1-0 down.
And Manchester United continue their sequence of scoring in every away game that they've played this season. The flag goes up against Higuain as Chelsea sense there might be an immediate response.
That's the run he likes to make. They have just made it a fraction too early here. It's a tight one, but he's offside.
Young bundling Kovacic over.
It's interesting to see what Solskjaer was saying to Ashley Young there, almost push in when Hazard goes infield, you push in with him.
So he's got to push in carrying a yellow card.
Switcher plays on again. He wants to use it, David Luiz has, and for the second time he hasn't got it right.
He also adds another stat for this weekend, that all 8 away teams have scored in the 5th round of this season's FA Cup.
I'll also give a bit of credit to Juan Mata, who made the run off the back of Rudiger, so Rudiger didn't get too tight to Pogba, which enabled him to get his head up to deliver the ball into the box. An even contest so far.
I mentioned that away goal stats because what we started talking about, Stuart, the advantage of a home team in a one-off FA Cup 5th
Leicester
round
the other week,
maybe it's just triggered a little bit more ambition from the away sides.
These guys
There's no taking them back to our place anymore at this stage. Matic. Here's Jorginho. Kovacic with not too much time to prepare. It's a reacquaintance with the side that's just beaten 6-0. Well, this is a neutral ground in Wembley. Oh, and that dips over.
To be a cross, his heart would have been in his mouth there for a moment.
I think it must have touched Luke Shaw. It certainly wasn't for crushing the goalkeeper's glove.
And there's that switcher play again, that time not
Rashford. Young. Well, he's not had much first-team football. He's out from December till the game recently, just a cross-town. Then back to Norway. Since the PSG defeat, just a day or two with the family. And there are some Norwegian hats and flags here.
The Norwegian press here as well.
And
been some very successful Norwegians in the Premier League, ones that haven't been quite successful. Egil Olsen, Wimbledon.
Can't get across the face of the goal. There would have been some ructions from Manchester United, I think, if Higuain had kept on going.
That's where he just lacks that little bit of pace, Higuain. No difference a year has made for Luke Shaw. Playing now with confidence.
Without having lost, despite that horrendous injury, seemingly any of his pace. Which was a very vital.
Too much in terms of the tactical side of the game, but now much improved, making much better decisions.
For the quarter-finals. That might be a movable feast depending if there is need for extra time and then even penalties. With both. Lukaku had a couple of excellent passes to set up goals against Arsenal. Couldn't quite come up with one there. Conte, Higuain coming deep. Jorginho trying to come up with that assist that you're looking for from him, but
that was a poor pass. It was.
One thing in the team selection, rather than Solskjaer, we haven't mentioned tonight. No Alexis Sanchez in the starting lineup. Fran Matters. Maybe his crop.
To get him, the follow-through catches him just above the knee. We can blame too much Rashford there. He's got every entitlement to kick through the ball.
Anything that's looked threatening from Chelsea really has come from Eden Hazard.
Through individual brilliance rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Stand side to the right to get Azpilicueta on. He can get across into the box. Of course, they're looking at this just in case they thought it was a red card challenge, and quite rightly, on we get with the game. Actually, Luke Shaw's playing a sensible game at the moment. He's just playing within himself. He knows that he can't break forward too much down that left-hand side, because when Chelsea get it and switch it, it's 2 against
Jorginho.
Vegan diet.
Oh, don't get me on that.
Jorginho gets it, he's put under pressure. He can't manipulate the ball to get away from anybody.
No comment.
Free kick hasn't been given to Chelsea, but there is a check going on from VAR. And that means that the guys down at Stockley Park will be looking at that incident involving Marcus Rashford, and I think they're discussing whether or not that was a sending off offence. The only way that they would have been checking that is if they thought that there might have been a chance of a red card. They've obviously looked at it, now they're allowing play on.
It was a block tackle and he got there just a little bit before Hazard. Hazard miscontrolled. I'm not saying it was his fault, but it was just a follow through. Caught him on the knee.
Yeah, they just check those incidents just to make sure. Because the last thing they want when you've got VAR is for it to go back to the TV room at half-time, and whoever's presenting to show a replay of what would have been a bad challenge and it should have been a red card, and they didn't spot it. So they check everything in the background all the time. Sometimes those checks run on a little bit when they're serious, and means they just pause play for a couple of seconds while they finish it. Here is Jorginho on halfway to Kovacic, to Conte, and then Azpilicueta, who's on the right side for Chelsea, who trail by 1-0, 42 minutes on the clock, and you're listening to Talk Sport. And well, it's been a lively first 45 minutes in which Chelsea seem to dominate so much of the ball, but yet find themselves behind. It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1 in the FA Cup 5th round, live on Talk Sport. With the Sun Football, we live it.
And there's no doubt whoever is victorious tonight can feel they can go all the way and win this cup.
Such is the nature of the draw and the way it's opened up. Although, you know, a lot of those championship teams were dismissed, weren't they, at the weekend. It will depend very much on the quarter-final draw, which is coming up at the conclusion of this match. Here's Kovacic approaching the edge of the area. Pedro's got it. Some space for Azpilicueta. Right side, low cross, blocked by Lindelof, and pushed out on the far touchline and away for a throw-in. That was a very quick, dangerous Chelsea move.
Gordon, great move. Should he have gone for goal?
So, no, I think he done the right thing. I think he could have took another touch, though. They give him a better angle.
Pass down the right channel to Rashford. 2 in the box to aim for. Rashford's ball in. Pogba's header. It's 2-0 to Manchester United on the stroke of half-time. It's a great finish from Paul Pogba. Could Kepa have done more? Manchester United getting revenge for last year's FA Cup final. It is now 2-0. Paul Pogba with a wonderful finish.
Well, 2 crosses, 2 goals. The commitment from midfield players. Pogba this time to get into the
finished it, and Manchester United might have.
Una referencia en ese sentido.
Veíamos
Time to get in the box. He's gained that ground off a one-touch cross. And it just shows you, for all the football we're talking about with Chelsea and playing it about, they've not got enough bodies in the box. Man United are now saying we must get bodies in the box again.
Yeah, I'm sure at half-time, though, I think, will you look at the keeper there and say, could have done a wee bit better?
If David De Gea was in goal, would he have saved it?
Yeah.
Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2 before half-time, and Chelsea's big night, with the eyes of the world upon them, is starting to increase the pressure on Maurizio Sarri. I think I've read one report from a source inside Chelsea this week that suggested that he had to win one of the big 2 games this week, this one and the cup final. And after what Manchester City did to them last time, you would expect that not to be happening. The odds are against them now, because Manchester United lead by 2-0.
2 killer passes. You know, Pogba's, he scores one, he makes one. His ball was brilliant, but Rashford's ball there was superb.
Well, Chelsea have got some serious thinking to do. Maurizio Sarri's got some serious thinking to do. Again, Gordon, though, he'll look back at that 45 minutes and say we almost did everything right. Almost. A couple of times we switched off at the back. A couple of times we got into the 18-yard box and didn't do what we needed to do, which was convert a good chance.
Exactly. But the chances of there's one from Higuain, I remember. A couple of areas I've got in there. They outnumber Man United with bodies between the halfway line and 20 yards out. Because they're doing that, outnumbering a lot more bodies, there's hardly any bodies in the box. So they become predictable, Chelsea, about the way they play into the box. Man United, they've just thrown a couple, not just thrown them, they've perfect crosses getting in the box. They've scored from old-fashioned crosses.
Oh, hear the boos. Wow, 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 wow.
Manchester United have knocked out FA Cup holders on more occasions than anyone else, and they are threatening to do it again. Chelsea in trouble again against one of the big boys. A goal from Pogba on the stroke of half-time has doubled Manchester United's advantage after he made a goal for Herrera. It's all come against the run of play, but the scoreline is the most important thing, and that is what the owners and supporters will be looking at half-time, because it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2.
Half-time thoughts in a moment with Big Al and with Gordon as well. We'll bring you both these sides in action next Sunday on Talk Sport. Manchester United against Liverpool is the early kick-off in the Premier League, with full commentary to come. And then live from Wembley, the Carabao Cup final. Both games live on Talk Sport. Chelsea taking on Manchester City alongside Jim Proutford, David Moyes and Stuart Pearce, also with us at Wembley there. There's been a real talk to me now, both of you, about there is a sense of freedom and enjoyment from Manchester United. You know, like those horses that are held on, and finally when they've been given their reins, they're enjoying what they're doing, aren't they?
It's a weird one, Gordon. You know, and at the Sags, you could tell the United players were. People kept saying, "Get the handbrake off, let the handbrake off." Well, they're still disciplined, though. They're not just running about daft, but they're enjoying it a lot more. Gordon mentioned earlier, each player is give me the ball. They're loving it. They've found the confidence, they've found the rhythm, they've found the style again now, whereas that was missing with Josie.
Yeah, but what they've got is power runners. They've not got sharp runners in midfield. Sometimes you can play around them, Chelsea, which they did to a certain extent in the middle of the park. Well, they did. But when Man United see a chance, they've got power runners. Herrera can run 50 yards without the ball. So can Pogba, and that's what's happened. The power runners, rather than Chelsea, it's been nice and technically beautiful, but when it comes to it's the same. It seems like the same move all the time. Out to Hazard and see what we're doing there. When it gets to crossing areas, Man United have got bodies because of the power running at the box to get in there. Chelsea have not got that power running. It has to be really intricate to get through to score a goal. Well, Man United, there's a variation.
And it doesn't help, does it, in a way, and Alan, you pointed that out, that Higuain, we know what a top-class finisher he is, but he's lost that first 5 yards, hasn't he?
Yeah, you know, his age is beating him now, but, you know, the header was a glorious chance.
Yeah, great chance.
You know, I'd say that was as good a chance as Pogba's goal. You know, his header, he was brave there, Paul, but got in between them. But Higuain had a free header. He has to hit the target now.
It's a little bit as well. I think you've been a bit rough on him out there. I think you've been a bit rough on him.
I know.
To be fair on Higuain, it was about 12, 15 yards out there. It's bombing into him.
Just Chelsea when they go forward, wide.
I'll tell you what he needs. He needs people round about him to give him
yes,
that.
He does.
Because he needs people. He's on his own. When we watch this, and it's technically okay for Pedro to stand away at the other side of the pitch on the right hand side when the ball's over here at David Luiz, but there's never anybody near Higuain. He's coming short to the ball, which you said is the problem with Lukaku this season so far. He needs people around about him. It's all nice. Chelsea's all nice for 35 yards because they've got that many bodies just outside the box, but when it comes in the box, they've not got any. Man United are different. When the ball goes into the box, there are people running in there.
They've also been a little cute, haven't they? They've allowed Chelsea, particularly on that right side, for the man to push further forward, and Rudiger and Luiz not quite close enough. They don't know which way to go at times there, and that, I mean, Pogba for that second goal there is late. I mean, a beautiful delivery,
clinical finish.
He's got in between the two of them there before they've even noticed.
Two great balls in. Chelsea have had chances as well. You know, it could easily be 2-2. You know, they had a couple of chances.
You made a great point, Gordon, about the technicality there, or the technique of Chelsea, but then
they're sharper.
They're much sharper, but then, as you said, obvious what's happened here. It's all around Hazard.
It's all sharp, and it needs to be the perfect goal.
Yeah,
because there's no real power in the box, so they have to play short, sharp passes and get through that way. Man United, on the other hand, when the ball goes wide, they're saying to themselves, we must get in the box, and it's a race to get into the box. So it's two different. There's a power side to Man United, and the power side's not so good when they're in the middle of the park when they're closing down, but they've got the power when the ball goes at the other side of the pitch, at the other end of the pitch, because the power is paid out for them then, because it's two midfield players with power.
Do you think
Herrera and Pogba that scored the goals? It's not the strikers, it's the power.
And just finally on that, I just look at the bench for Chelsea, and I feel that Willian himself is somebody who can make a difference and change it. We'll
see Giroud as well, I'm pretty sure.
So?
Yeah, I do. Look, Chelsea have got to get a goal in the first 20 minutes, but they don't have to. But they're going to go hell for leather here to try and get back in this game. We're not finished yet. This has been a great game.
No, it's been a great start. Remember, it's extra time possibly still, and then penalties. Who knows what's going to happen here tonight? It's delighted to have Gordon Strachan and Alan Brazil alongside us. The big man back with the breakfast show from 6 tomorrow morning. Lee Sharp's alongside him. Danny Higginbottom, lots more besides. Gordon Strachan has actually just invited the rest of you round for breakfast. Do you do a good breakfast, Gordon?
Everybody but Al.
Problem is, Mark, what house?
Exactly that too. We're back with all the action next here after an extraordinary first half on TalkSport.
There's a four-man Manchester United wall, two Chelsea players disrupting it. It's David Luiz who hits it, punched away by Romero, comes back to Pedro, and it's the double save by Sergio Romero. It hits his chest, pops into the air, he gobbles it and pulls it in, and Chelsea have had two shots on goal in the matter of seconds. And the left to Hazard, who goes in towards Herrera, keeps hold of the ball, exchanges passes with Alonso, hits it and curls it towards the far post, and it was only narrowly wide.
Bit special, Gordon, isn't it? You know, he's so direct. When he spots a quick one to a wall pass, bang, he's away like a flash.
Here's Pogba trying to dance his way to the edge of the box. He produces a lovely cross. Herrera's coming at the far post. He's stolen it at the far post, and he's nudged the ball home. Well, he was completely unmarked, and he was spotted brilliantly by Pogba. It was a pinpoint Paul Pogba delivery, and it was a wonderful header from Herrera to give Manchester United the lead against the run of play. 6,381 Manchester United fans go balmy at the bridge because it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Out to the right side, looking for Rashford and finding him. Across by Rashford, and there is Pogba, and he does with a flying header which Kepa Arrizabalaga cannot hold, and Manchester United lead by 2-0 on the stroke of half-time. Pogba started it, Pogba finished it, and Manchester United might have finished off Chelsea before the break.
Hi, I know you own a small business, and I'm wondering if you're interested in some very well-paid new work. Funnily enough, did you know that about 59% of new customers don't leave a voicemail? Luckily, I'm not one of them. So call me on 074...
Don't cut off new business. Manage and divert your calls with eReceptionist so you'll never miss an opportunity again. Sign up for a free 30-day trial now at ereceptionist.co.uk. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
I want Poppy to play cricket for England.
I want Sam to stop screaming.
I want Joe to live a little.
I want Naomi to live a lot.
I want Becky to invent a cure for the common cold.
Whatever the future holds for your children, Vitality Life Insurance want to make it happy, healthy and secure. So when you take out our Wellness Optimizer, you'll get up to 40% off your life insurance premiums.
I want the twins to keep on being happy.
I just want whatever the twins are on.
Just search Vitality Life Insurance. Additional product, minimum monthly premiums and conditions apply.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep things you normally lose? Your favourite scarf, your train of thought, or your mobile data. Because with most other networks, you get to the end of the month and your data is, well, never to be seen again. But unlike anyone else, with Sky Mobile you can roll and keep all your unused data for up to 3 years. You can do all sorts with your unused data, like get money off your next bill if you change your plan. Sky Mobile. Hello, possible.
Full terms and conditions at sky.com/mobile.
The FA Cup on Talk Sport with Sun Football. Pick up the paper for the latest results, news and gossip. We live it. The FA Cup on Talk Sport with Sun Football. Pick up the paper for the latest results, news and gossip. We live it.
He's only been on the pitch for a second. What a performance from the substitute. Every great team needs a super sub, someone ready to slot in when they're needed. That's why if your van is off the road needing warranty work of more than 3 hours, we'll arrange a courtesy van to keep your business moving. Your very own super sub. Get your team back on track. Renault Pro Plus, now with 0% hire purchase finance. Business users only. Renault Finance hire purchase subject to status. Orders by 31st of March. Registrations by 30th of June. T's and C's apply. Visit renault.co.uk/commitment.
Knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell.
Did you know that winning postcodes are announced every single day with People's Postcode Lottery? Only playing postcodes are entered, so the prizes are always won. It costs just £10 a month to play in all draws. Join in with your postcode to play at postcodelottery.co.uk. PPL manage lotteries on behalf of good causes. Players must be over 16. Terms and conditions apply. Please play responsibly. Be gamble aware.
Someone's knocking at the door.
With the customer at pump number 6. Fancy some big flavours, fresh ideas and tasty new combos?
For delicious food to go, head to Jamie Oliver Deli by Shell. We've gone the extra mile to bring you a bigger and better choice, so you can find a tasty bite to eat wherever you're heading.
Pump number 6. Let me have a bite.
Try the new Jamie Oliver Deli by Shell. Participating sites, see shell.co.uk/Jamie Oliver.
Isn't it reassuring to know that when you're looking to remortgage, you don't have to rejig your routine? That's why at Barclays we offer evening and weekend appointments. It means you get to talk to us when it works best for you. Morning or evening. We're refreshing and reshaping the way we do mortgages to make them easier. Search Barclays Mortgages. Let's go forward. T's and C's apply.
Hey, Philip Schofield here. WeBuyAnyCar.com reckon you could find out what your car's worth in under 60 seconds. I know, I didn't believe it myself, so I timed it. And it's true. It actually took me only 53 seconds. Not that it's a race. So if you want to find out how much your car's worth, or just want to beat my time, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. I think I might give it another go. 49. Get in.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Pour yourself some mid-afternoon mirth with Oxby and Jacobs on Talk Sport with Green King. Unmissable live sports talk. Great company and laughs on draft. It's time, gentlemen, for the nation's favourite afternoon social speakeasy. With an atmosphere you can't get at home. Oxby and Jacobs, tomorrow afternoon from 1 on Talk Sport with Green King, your home of pub sport. Download the Green King season ticket app now for 3 pints, 10% off, and great offers. 18 plus, drink aware.
Kick-off FA Cup special.
And he scores!
With Mark Saggers.
Oh, it's a screaming goal!
On Talk Sport.
Half-time here in the FA Cup 5th round, the final tie of the weekend. It's been a fabulous weekend on TalkSport as well. And it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2 at half-time. Work for the home side to do, no doubt. about that. Alan Brazil and Gordon Strachan alongside me. Sam Matterface with the commentary to come as well. And we're back into the mob for the second half of the next and latest chapter in the Champions League coming up very shortly. Liverpool, of course, at home to Bayern Munich over 2 legs. And, Jurgen Klopp has been speaking today, and this is what he's had to say about this particular match.
The only thing we can do is to give it our all and play very passionate football, very lively football, the football that people expect when they come to Anfield. We expect a good atmosphere, but we know about the part we have to play. We have to create atmosphere as well on the pitch and make it easier for the people. But it will be outstanding tomorrow night. And I know that a lot of players from other teams always say, "Oh no, it's really good. I'm looking forward to be going there." And it's true. It's something to enjoy. But on the other hand side, there's a lot of power involved in that, and I've experienced it now a couple of times that our crowd is really able to push us from 100 to 120, 30 or 40%. I never would have thought that that's possible, but it happened here from time to time, and hopefully tomorrow night again.
Follow all of that tomorrow night with Natalie in the chair, and on TalkSport 2, Lyon against Barcelona with full commentary to come on that. Wednesday night, Schalke against Manchester City with commentary on TalkSport, and Atletico Madrid up against Juventus as well. By the time we get to Thursday, TalkSport 2, it's Celtic travel to Valencia.
Yeah, I think Celtic, the way the weekend went for Celtic, that should be another Scottish Premier wrapped up. But look, Celtic, we don't spend the money. We can't compete against the big teams in Europe. And with the great respect to Valencia, they're not one of the big teams now. Celtic passed the ball well, but Gordon seen more of the game than me, and I had a good chat with him. And Celtic, look, it's simple. You have to spend to compete at the highest level. Some people might say, well, hold on a minute, Porto done it, and teams like Ajax in the past, but the game's changed now. It really has. Celtic can't compete at the highest level.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that, Alan, that Porto can pick anybody up from Brazil. Celtic can't. They can pick up people for 2-3 million and make them into players and sell them for 40. Celtic can't do that, and so can Ajax. They can pick up people from around the world. We can't. We've got to bring players through and buy at a very low price. And even if Celtic were to spend, say they're in the Champions League, and spend 100 million on players, then you've got to add the wages to that, which is about another 100 million on top. That doesn't guarantee, and it's been proven in English League, if you put that kind of money, you don't get through the Champions League. If you do that and you fail, then the club is bust.
Yeah, well, Everton spent it in the Gordon. Look what it's got them at the moment.
Yeah, there's been a lot of teams gambling on success that it's really putting the club at risk, and Celtic won't do that.
Chelsea out nice and early here. They've I don't know what Sarri has been said to them at the end of the
no changes, Mark. Chelsea need a bright start, and they need an opening, don't they? They need a goal.
He won't leave it too long though, will he? I can't see him leaving it too long.
Well, again, we're back to is it the 62nd minute? He always makes changes, so we'll see if he changes that. But Chelsea do need an injection here. They need a breakthrough.
Ashley Young is having this renaissance, which is terrific. I think Luke Shaw has been very underestimated recently, and I think he's had a great first half.
Well, he made that run, and it showed energy to get past Pogba, which allowed Pogba the 2 yards to cross the ball. So it shows you, if you are a good teammate, you're quite willing to run 30 yards to give your mate 2 yards, and that's what happened. And they've shown great energy. Shaw ran without the ball, Herrera ran without the ball, and you got a great delivery.
45 minutes, possibly another 30 on top of it. I don't know if we're going to get to penalties, but Chelsea have got to find something. Alan Brazil, Gordon Strachan, and your match commentator, nationally exclusively on TalkSport tonight. This final game in the 5th round of the FA Cup, the draw to follow it to whenever that will be tonight. Here's Sam Matterface.
Well, this is a game that captured the imagination of the nation, and thank you for listening to TalkSport. I met a young lad yesterday, Toby, who got his first stereo for Christmas. He said to me he'd be sitting next to his radio and listening to the game, hoping that Chelsea would squeeze through to a quarter-final, although he might be a little bit disappointed right now, as a lot of Chelsea fans were at half-time. I spoke with Pat Nevin, Clive Walker, and a few of the other Chelsea contingent up here in the commentary box area, and I think initially Pat in particular was suggesting that he thought that Kepa couldn't have saved that. It was too fast, but then he saw it in real time again and he's changed his mind.
I said right away, I said, well, I think they were talking about that at half-time. Should he have done better? And I think he should. But it was still a beautiful ball, a brave header from Pogba, but a bit of pace on the ball. So Chelsea need to up the game now. It's not been all bad for Chelsea this first 45 minutes.
Well, if they do come through this Manchester United, it will be a rare victory over Chelsea. Chelsea have only succumbed to 2 defeats in 17 encounters, and they've come at Old Trafford. But they're losing here by 2-0 at half-time. No changes. Chelsea shooting now from left to right in their blue shirts and shorts and white socks. And Manchester United in those red shirts that fade into black, the white shorts and red socks shooting towards their supporters. Their huge contingent of support away to our left-hand side. Is there a way back?
This fell on the ball now, Pedro. He's got to do more. Elion, he looked bright, he looked sharp, but he's got to do more.
Conte finds Azpilicueta, a low ball which is cut out by Shaw. Interception by Herrera. And did it take a little flick off Azpilicueta and goes behind and away for a goal kick? And it is a goal kick for Sergio Romero away to our right hand side. It just must have just come off the knee of the Spaniard, and he's furious.
Well, there's no passing from the goalie here. Again, Man United, they've got to use the power, play the ball up to Lukaku, work it from there, knockdowns. They're not taking no chances. 2-0 up, there's no passing from the goalkeeper from goal kicks, that's for sure.
Yeah, kicks it right down the middle of the pitch. Sergio Romero. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been pretty open about his strategy. We want to take risks, we want to play with pace and power. That's how we do things at Manchester United, he said. That's certainly how they've done things tonight.
It's amazing. Early on, Gordon, we were saying as well, Chelsea in midfield were really sharp, weren't they? Finding passes, getting in behind United. Just a killer pass wasn't working for them.
No, it has to be so precise the way they play, Alan. With Man United, there's more chances with the ball going in the box with them than it is with Chelsea. Chelsea will try and play the ball into positions and what the perfect goal by the looks of it.
Yeah, but no cutting edge has been a real problem for them, hasn't it?
Well, it's the way they play it. It seems to be it has to be the perfect ball. We were saying that the better side, they are passing the ball better, it looks nice on the eye. But the power of Man United and the cross, because the goals come in different shapes and they can be beautiful anyway. Because I think these 2 goals are as good as you'll see with crosses and movement. But people think it has to be lovely passing 1-2s. And here we go again.
Azpilicueta now. Higuain trying to shoot from a tight angle, blocked by Chris Smalling, who's there again, diving in and pushing it behind and away for a corner kick.
You wonder, is the set piece going to get Chelsea back in? But United are a big side as well, so I'm not sure.
I think they're equal, Alan. I was looking before the game. I think they're equal. They'll have enough man markers both sides to nullify each other. It needs a great ball and a great leap to score.
Here's Hazard with the corner. It's an outswinger in towards the near post. It's not a great ball. It's cut out, but it comes as far as Conte, who hits it first time, hits the back of a defender, and now Manchester United are sprinting clear, and Rashford runs over halfway. He's got 2 defenders around him. He pushes it aside. He goes past Azpilicueta, and Lukaku is at the back post. Can he get there? No, because David Luiz
handball. Shouts the handball.
And Keely's hand there. The referee's looking at it. They will go back if necessary with VAR, but certainly that counter-attack almost looked deadly from Manchester United.
What a break. David Luiz got back just in time because Lukaku was going to side foot that in. That was fantastic from Rashford, but Lukaku was looking at that handball. Immediately his arms went up.
Here come Chelsea at the other end. Rashford trying to get away. Played on to Pogba. Pogba's pulled back, and now the free kick is given, and they're just waiting here to make sure that the penalty has been checked by the VAR, and the referee is taking a little bit of time here whilst that check takes place. We're having another look at it, and looked like he hit the top of the shoulder.
Yeah, just above his breast, arm and shoulder. Referee was about 3-4 yards away.
But the break showed Manchester United again, the power running. What's the Chelsea stuff's over? It's electric 15 yards, but Man United's power over 40 yards. Rashford runs with the ball. Lukaku's catching up. Pogba's getting up there. Sheer power.
No penalty. Here is Pogba on to Lukaku. Lukaku Oh, it's dispossessed by Azpilicueta and then Pedro. Conte keeps the ball moving and Chelsea have it deep inside their own territory. Maurizio Sarri said in his programme notes the target is simple here, not to make it an exciting game, but to progress to the quarter-finals. Well, they've got to come from 2-0 down to do that. Here comes Hazard running through the centre of the pitch. He goes down under pressure from Herrera. Herrera thinks that was a foul. Herrera thinks that was a dive, but the referee has given a foul.
But a long way up here, but it didn't look like a foul to me.
Matic explaining that, and we're getting a replay of it now as Hazard skated past Matic, and Matic definitely got the ball and didn't really even touch the man, did he?
He's unfortunate, Matic. I think he gets there because he knows he has to get there, because if he takes him out, he's already been booked, I think.
Yeah.
So he has to make sure, and I think if he's got that positive, he's putting his foot in, he knows he's getting it.
Here's Hazard's delivery towards the back post. David Luiz with a header back across the face of goal. No one there in blue, and it's cleared away. And it was just red shirts again populating that most dangerous of areas, and Chelsea failed to capitalise on a ball into the box once more, and it remains 2-0 to Manchester United. Conte, well, this time Matic has had a little nibble at N'Golo Conte. He has been booked. The Chelsea support want him sent off, and he could be in a bit of trouble here because Kevin Friend has called him over. He wants to have a word with him. Is he going to book him, or is he going to end up giving him one final warning?
Big moment this, big moment.
Ashley Young is over there making the case for the defence and acting as his counsel. He's got away with it this time. He won't be allowed to get away with it again. Maurizio Sarri on the touchline with his hands outstretched. Can't quite believe that he hasn't been sent off.
Desperation, I think, from Sarri there. Listen, he's willing everything to happen to get his side back in it, but I don't know, was that worth another yellow? I don't know. Well,
I think if he hadn't have been booked initially, he probably would have got a yellow card. So the answer to your question is probably yes. But I'm sure it's one for Andy Goldstein to debate on the sports bar a little bit later on. 08717 22 33 44.
You've had your Chelsea season ticket how many years?
Here is Pedro. Back to Jorginho. It goes into the centre circle, and it's David Luiz now.
In all seriousness now, I think Ollie must be thinking, can I keep him on the pitch? I think he may have to take him off now, because there's no way he can have another tackle now.
Ball into the box looking for Higuain. It's headed behind by Lindelof, who got up there brilliantly and nudged it out and away for a corner kick on this near side to Chelsea. If Manchester United could ride this storm now for the next 10 minutes or so, then they may well get through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. A goal for Chelsea now really sets things up nicely at the bridge. Here's Hazard, outswinger towards Rudiger, into the air by Pogba, caught by the goalkeeper who'd gone behind. Second successive corner.
Well, there we go, little tussle going on. What's Sarri think? Does he think that maybe Giroud or
Willian
is he going to do something?
Well, hold on, when it gets to 61 minutes, Kovacic will come off and Barkley will come on. It happens every week.
William warming up as well, so that could be Pedro off, William on.
Here is Hazard to take the corner. Kevin Friend having a word with David Luiz, explaining who the referee is here, as the corner is prepared by the Belgian wizard, and he now sizes up the opportunity. Across into the box, it's missed by Alonso, away by Pogba. Rashford runs it clear. He's such a good outlet, Marcus Rashford, because when he gets on the ball and he runs away with it, he drags everybody out. And then Chelsea, as they try to push it back into a dangerous area, are so wayward with their passing, it goes out of play. Throw into Manchester United far side. The writers, we look at it here, and as they look at it down on the pitch, kick clear by Young up over the halfway line. Such a great vantage point here at Stamford Bridge. We're right up at the back of the East Stand, having a look at the pitch from the halfway mark, and we can see everything as it unfolds here on TalkSport. Here is Arida Balaga, who I hope has just managed to put that incident on half-time behind him. £71 million goalkeeper. Sarri says he's going to be one of the best in Europe, but certainly he does make the odd mistake.
I don't want to hammer him, but I think the second goal, a top keeper saves that.
We mentioned the question, would David De Gea have saved it? I wonder if David De Gea would have saved it in his first season. Here is Conte moving up towards the edge of the penalty area. A ball round the corner looking for Pedro, and out comes Luke Shaw with a wonderful long left leg which pokes the ball out for a corner and gets there in the nick of time. He may well have poked his goalkeeper at the same point.
When you mentioned David De Gea, you might see him in 5 minutes because he definitely Shaw catches him.
Well, I think maybe it's Pedro who catches the back of his head as he tries to skip over him. But it's out for a corner anyway, once Sergio Romero and Luke Shaw have recovered from their ailments. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick animating on the touchline. When you have an injury like this to a goalkeeper and a defender and you've got a corner kick coming in, do you panic slightly?
I wouldn't, because I don't think he's that badly injured. I really think he might be just taking a wee bit sting at the game. It's a good chance for it, because the goalkeeper never goes off, so they can easily say, right, I got touched, so I need as much treatment as I want, slow the game down, kill the game a bit, and then get Marcel up. He'll be fine. But I've got to say, Luke Shaw was absolutely magnificent there, because at one point I thought Pedro must be the guy that's got to get this first.
It's a great little ball, wasn't it, from Conte? Great little ball.
A super challenge from Luke Shaw. And either Young or Rashford is being told here by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come forward towards the halfway line. Kevin Friend's still getting some information from the VAR, by the way.
I think Chelsea have got to get a near post runner here. They're having a job getting it to the far post.
Here is the corner. Pedro, deep one this time. Away by Matic, picked up by Jorginho, and then it's all the way back to Azpilicueta, and there's a few groans from the Chelsea faithful. Willian about to come on Talk Sport to try and make a difference for Chelsea. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2 in the FA Cup 5th round. Live on Talk Sport with the Sun Football. Visit sun.co.uk for the latest results, news and gossip. Here is Higuain, Jorginho. Now Kovacic out to the wide left-hand side. Across from Alonso is a deep one, but it's too hefty. And it runs through to Hazard on this near touchline, but Ashley Young is there.
When Chelsea get it wide though, and you quickly look in the box, they're a small side, aren't they?
As long as you look after Higuain at that, you're okay. When the ball's coming in, just look after him, because there's nothing else going to happen.
First change of the night, and it's come for Chelsea. The man who's coming off is Pedro. He won 25 trophies in his life, Pedro. Knows how to get them on the mantelpiece, but he's not going to help Chelsea try and claw this one back. That job's going to go to Willian, whose contract expires at the end of the season, and a lot of speculation about his future when it comes to the summer. First change of the night, Pedro for Willian. Here is Willian on the right side for Chelsea. Can he affect the play? Well, he has done. He's won a free kick which is taken quickly and allowed Azpilicueta to go round the back of Pogba, but Pogba's too strong, too wily, and he'll shepherd it behind Willie. No, Azpilicueta did enough there when you thought he was beaten to try and turn the ball back goalwards, and then Pogba had to react and ended up it's smuggled behind off Luke Shaw, I think, and out for a corner.
Yeah, they need a goal, Chelsea, to give us a grandstand, last half hour.
Here's the corner, low into the near post. Oh, someone's gone down inside the box. Kovacic it was, who went down in a collision with Lukaku. The referee says play on. There's a header by Rashford, which doesn't quite come off, and Chelsea managed to get it clear from halfway. But under pressure, Azpilicueta. I mean, what a ball that was by Willian. Talk about hospital pass.
He's had a bit of a shocker, though, the Chelsea captain. I'm sorry. I know he couldn't do a lot with that one, but he's not done a lot right for me tonight.
Yeah, by the way, he was giving away 2 stone to Pogba there, and he kept at it. And if you watch, really, his attitude and keep chasing that ball was fantastic at corner kick. But Alan's right. Lukaku's standing right at the edge of the 6-yard box, and he's clearing everything, or he's intimidating the crossing of the ball for the corner kick. I'd like somebody to stand right in front of him, so he can't get a look at the ball.
2-0 to Manchester United, and we're on the hour mark now, and Rudiger has just gone through the back of a Manchester United player.
Mata, isn't it?
Yellow card is coming out here. What a Mata on the floor. Rudiger.
It looked bad. He's complaining of his innocence. It looked bad from up here, didn't it? It's a follow through. It's his right leg. It's gone right through him.
Well, he went to the Chelsea fans after the game with Manchester City and got a bit of stick for trying to apologise for their performance. He said every player should be ashamed of their performance. I don't think Chelsea in that first half played that badly.
Even now. No, I don't think anybody can reproach themselves at this point of what they've put into the game.
The problem is that they just don't score enough goals, and it was that statistic that I mentioned to you earlier on in the game. They started off scoring for fun. Since about the 11th, 12th game of the season, they've just stopped scoring goals.
Well, I think probably maybe teams are looking at it because the lack of variation. It's always the same sort of move they're trying to come away with.
Yeah, so they're too predictable. That's the manager's fault, right?
At this point, you would say, right, they're playing two strikers. Well, Rashford's playing. They're playing two strikers. Why don't we play two strikers? Because because of their good football, they're getting into some lovely positions, but they're having real problems when the ball is wide.
Offside flag up against Higuain.
I would have put Giroud on now.
Yeah, without doubt.
And as a target man, and let Higuain move about, do a bit more. Because I think you could put Kante back in there and play with Jorginho, and that'll be fine. They've got enough in their locker, energy-wise, to look after that.
Yeah, I would add Giroud, because at least then, half a yard, he can whip one in.
And I'll tell you another thing, that Hazard loves playing with them. He loves playing with them.
Hazard is still out over on the far side, but Matic has got the better of him, and then Alonso couldn't get round Kovacic, who puts it out for a throw-in, level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area in the wide right position. 66% Chelsea in terms of possession, 34 Manchester United, 7 shots, 6 for Manchester United, 2 on target for Chelsea, 5 on target for Manchester United, including those 2 goals from which they lead by. Here is Rashford over on the right-hand side. And he's trying to get the cross in, can't do so, plays it against Alonso, another throw in. Manchester United happy to slow the game down. They did a job on Arsenal in this competition away from home, and they're doing a job on Chelsea here, much to the delight of those supporters behind the goal, away to our left-hand side. Chelsea's record in the FA Cup particularly good. They're the holders, they've been to the last 2 finals. But they're going out here unless they find 2 goals. They've got a corner to defend. Mata, hand in the air. Rashford, Lukaku and Pogba lurking. It's aimed in towards the central part of the penalty area, headed into the air and away by Azpilicueta, caught by Conte. I think there was a bit of a collision which the referee didn't quite like, and the free kick will be given to Chelsea inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, they've somehow got to mix it up here, because United at the moment are just getting red shirts back there. They know they're going to play little wall passes, little 1-2s, but they need something different. They're going to have to a plan B. He's got to. Gordon's right. He's got to look at his bench now and change this.
But he doesn't do that, does he? Even just the threat of 2 strikers playing in, it'll give you more room around the edge of the box to play your 1-2s. More people will go back in the box and defend against headers. A variation. Then the top players like Hazard and Willian will have enough room to go and take people on then, because they 2 strikers will drag the back 4 in. And then they've got a real problem if it goes wide to Hazard. That would have now Kante and Jorginho there, and Hazard in a free roll. Willian stay out here, and 2 strikers.
Well, we'll see, but history tells us that we are now in February, and every game that Maurizio Sarri has played this season with Chelsea has been 4-3-3 in this formation. The only variation they've really ever had is when they had a false 9, and that was Hazard. He's getting into the box now, left-footed, drives the ball goalwards over the top of the crossbar. Well, he danced his way in down the right-hand side.
A great challenge again.
He cut it on his left foot, and then when he pulled the trigger right at the very last, there was a little deflection which took it over the top of the crossbar.
He just fell asleep from a throw-in. Ordinary throw-in, just falling asleep, lack of concentration.
Corner. Can Chelsea make the most of this? Dragged back into the Manchester United half by their maestro from Belgium. Here is Willian into the near post. Lukaku with a header. He's flicked it away, but only as far as Luiz, who tries to recycle it, and then Rudiger throws himself to the floor and into the Manchester United defender Smalling, and then there's a bump off the ball between those 2. At the other end, the bump is going on between Conte and Rashford is wrestled to the floor, and that's going to be a free kick and a yellow card to Conte.
Smalling's arms were round him, but wasn't enough to go there. The referee had a good look at it, didn't he? But he went down. Maybe he went down too easy, Rudiger.
Well, I just think he was just a little bit over dramatic, wasn't he? And the referee wasn't for giving a penalty like that. He's given a free kick at the other end, though. Ashley Young is laughing away. They're just checking the penalty kick at the other end with Smalling and Rudiger. Well, his arms were round him.
No.
He was pushing into him rather than the other way around.
It's no penalty.
His arms were round him, but Rudiger knew right away as the ball came in, he wasn't going to get it. He decided, well, if I'm not going to get it, I'll try and get a penalty.
Well, no penalty given. And no one's surprised. Here is Shaw. Back to halfway, where it's picked up now by Lindelof, Shaw, Willian. Chelsea fighting for it, losing it. Maurizio Sarri still standing in his technical area. Chelsea warming up Ross Barkley. #shock. But the only reason I say it, and it sounds like I'm being a little bit pedantic, but he's been subbed on or off for Kovacic 19 times this season. Here is Matic. Back to the near touchline, looking for Shaw. Conte puts it out of play and away for a throw. So we've got 25 minutes to go here. It's a pivotal time, this, for Chelsea. It could be a pivotal moment in the reign of Maurizio Sarri, because if he doesn't win here tonight, losing at home against Manchester United, it could get worse here, because Hazard's given the ball away, and running down the right is Rashford, back heel into Herrera. Now it's on to Matic, who's on the edge of the centre circle. United just slowing the attack. They don't need to force things. They lead by 2-0. Up to Pogba, back to goal, tries to send it back into Smalling, and only conspires to give it to Higuain. And Chelsea now coming forward with Jorginho sweeping it wide. Now it's picked up by Hazard. What damage can he do to United defence? He sends it on to Alonso. Low cross into the near post. Herrera is there. Waste turns it clear.
Waste. I know he's trying to get an early ball in, but you got to be more clinical there. That was a waste for me.
David Luiz goes to clear and he gets caught under his studs. And
it's so frustrating sometimes, David Luiz. It can look brilliant, it can look fantastic, strikes a great ball, passes a great ball, and other times you want to give him a shake, don't you?
And Maurizio Sarri said in the aftermath of surrendering the title to Juve in 2017, coaches are like fish. After a while, everybody just thinks that they start to stink. And Chelsea haven't stunk the joint out. They might have stuck the junk out as well. They haven't stunk the joint out tonight, but they haven't got a result against another big player. And after those defeats at Arsenal and Manchester City and defeat away at Tottenham earlier in the season, you just wonder, don't you? Is it going to be a situation a bit like Pep Guardiola? He comes in, it's first season, the system is in place, but it's not perfect yet. He needs more time to work with them. He needs more personnel.
Chelsea, the owners don't have the patience. No.
Gordon?
Well, I think if you go on this performance, but I want to know how you get from playing the football as well as they do. The owners have said to you, listen, this is fantastic, and yet it is exciting, it is nice to watch, but are you going to give me something that when we get to a certain point in the pitch, we're going to be a real threat? Can you promise us that? Then that would be great. Explain that to us. Or are you just got to play the same way all the time and hope that Hazard brings off something absolutely fantastic?
Because he may be gone in the summer.
Well, I was going to say that's the next point. Where do you go if he decides to call it a day and move on? Or if Chelsea decide to settle, then you've got a real problem. And I think when he moves on, because they've been so reliant on him, you need to rejig the team again.
Here is Willian, right side for Chelsea, trailing by 2-0. The cross is low into the near post, dealt with well by Lindelof.
Again, no near post runner. They've got to get someone across that near post.
But the reason they've got to get someone across the near post is because they can never seem to get the ball beyond it.
To be fair, because there's nobody else in there, and saying that Hazard trying to get in there, because there's no real threat in there, then they can just concentrate solely on Higuain.
And Manchester United threatening to score another on the counter-attack. Every time it breaks down now, they've got men darting forward. Lukaku and Rashford that pace on the attack. But here come Chelsea with Hazard going inside and outside, another skating to the edge of the penalty area.
Danger.
Ball down, free kick.
This is danger. This is a good range. This is. Well, Hazard himself try. Up comes David Luiz, but when he starts piercing runs of that Hazard, the amount of free kicks he gets is frightening.
I think they're starting to look like in midfield in Manchester now. They're giving the ball away because they're now tired, and that's what happens when you wonder why coaches try to make you physically to your peak. Is because you won't make mistakes when you're tired if you're fit.
On the Matthew Harding stand have been chanting the name of Callum Hudson-Odoi. Sarri doesn't seem to be listening. Oh, there's that substitution. I wonder who it's going to be. Here's the free kick then for David Luiz, Willian or Alonso. All three of them are expert free kick takers. Which one is going to get to smash it? Alonso's only got 1 goal this season. Willian just 7. David Luiz just 2, and one of those was a header against Manchester City. That was a big goal. Chelsea need a big goal here. Without it, they are limping out of the FA Cup, and the defence of the trophy will be over. Willian looks like he'll be the taker. Right-footed, over the top of the crossbar, inadequate.
Yeah, difficult. When they come off, they look fantastic. The Chelsea fans all holding their breath. Get us back in the game. He's only just come on, hasn't he? He was always going too high, couldn't get the dip in the ball. And here's that substitution again.
And it is Kovacic for Barkley for the 20th time this season. And the problem is that does look remarkably predictable.
Do you think the share wage?
Well, I don't think the Chelsea fans are happy about it, but anyway, he's on the pitch now, Ross Barkley. Not because I think they've got anything against Ross Barkley, it's just the fact that that change happens almost every single game. Here is Barkley. He does have a little bit more creativity than Kovacic, that's for sure. Sometimes he doesn't always make the right decision in the final third, though. Up to Hazard, left-hand side. Gets towards the edge of the penalty area and drives wide. Tries to take on Lindelof. Goes beyond him. Then struggles, stumbles, falls in the box. Referee has no suggestion there of a penalty, and it's cleared away by Manchester United up over on the right-hand side, and it remains...
That might just be United's... that's where they've got to be careful. If Chelsea can get in the box, in and around the box, it might be their only way back.
He's playing more central now, Alan Hazard. He's playing more central. He's run from centre to wide on that one, about 40-50 yards. At least they are getting 2 people up front now, but I still think you can afford to bring on another striker and play with Hazard in a floating area.
Is Giroud warming up down there on the touchline? I think he is. Just exercising those arms and doing a few stretches down in front of us. TalkSport supports the work of Prostate Cancer UK. Visit prostatecanceruk.org/football to help and work out how you can contribute. And together we can stop prostate cancer killing a man every 45 minutes.
First time we've heard the Chelsea fans, it's all been United fans. Desperate for their side to get back in here with a goal.
Well, Chelsea fans are chanting, "You don't know what you're doing." Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have to put up with chants like that. He's making a change, and that change sees Alexis Sanchez come on for Romelu Lukaku.
That makes sense, Sanchez fresh legs.
Here is Willian on this near side, sending the ball towards Rudiger, and then back to David Luiz. David Luiz now sending the ball out wide, and it's collected by Eden Hazard. He tries to take on Young, comes back to Barkley. Barkley tries to get it out from under his feet and loses the ball, and Rashford goes to escape, and that's a stamp tackle.
2-feeted from
Luiz.
Rashford's absolutely raging straight to the referee. He does that, Luiz. He does like to have a little jump up into tackle. You can see there, it's the studs he shows. Gets a ball.
Yeah, but that's one of these ones as a forward. You've just got to get your foot out of the way, because people say, he's jumped at the tackle. Well, if I go in for it, I'm going to hurt myself.
Well, he didn't make any contact with the player, and actually he didn't go for the ball 2-footed. He went 1-footed with the ball.
Off the ground though, both feet.
I think there was enough distance between Rashford and Luiz that wasn't deemed to be a tackle in effect.
Here's something to think about when Lukaku's coming off. He's been so effective in the front post area at corner kicks.
Yes.
Do you think that'll be a problem now? There's Sanchez there. He can't do it, so there might be a man shot somewhere else now.
Well, we'll see if Chelsea actually get one between now and the end of the game. 15 minutes to go, and it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2. The ball out on the left with David Luiz. Here is Jorginho being harassed by Sanchez, and they've won it back here. Sanchez into the area. Rashford with a shot blocked by Rudiger. Comes back out towards the edge of the box, and Alonso trying to deal with Alexis Sanchez, who gets a little nudge off the Spaniard. Mata then goes over and just hacks at Alonso till he ends up on the floor, and it goes out for a free kick to Chelsea just in from the touchline on the far left.
This is strange, isn't it? United are going to make another sub, and the Chelsea fans are like, come on, get someone else on.
Well, it's going to be Andreas Pereira who's going to come on. And Andreas Pereira actually made his first start against Reading in the third round. He played against Burnley as well, and he didn't exactly impress, but he is full of energy, and I think at this stage of the game they just need those extra legs.
They're starting to get leggy, Matt in particular, because he's put himself about in his run and he's closed in, and even that bit there when you see him try to tackle, I think David Luiz, he just got shrugged off. No, it was Alonso. He just got shrugged off the ball, so his upper body's tired now as well as his legs, so they've got fresh legs on now.
He's off and Andreas Pereira is on. The Chelsea fans still can't quite believe that they haven't brought on another striker.
Nice little touch from Chelsea fans there. Mata getting a well-deserved applause from both sets of fans.
Well, he was a big part of Chelsea's Champions League success. He took that corner in the 85th minute, their first corner of the game in the 85th minute of that Champions League final, which set up Didier Drogba's equaliser, and they went on to win the Champions League. Here on the right side, the ball with Eden Hazard. Back in field towards Willian. Willian now trying to get to the byline. Can't turn. Azpilicueta trying to sweep it back, and it's blocked by Pogba, and another mistake by Azpilicueta, who hasn't had the best of evenings. You were saying earlier, Alan.
I like him normally, but not tonight. I think he's gone vegan as well.
Apparently a lot of the Manchester United boys who have seen Chris Smalling's food being prepared in the canteen have actually fancied a bit. Here is Higuain out towards the left hand side. It's picked up by Alonso, and then infield to Eden Hazard, trying to turn away from his marker Herrera, who's sticking to him like a shadow. It's curled out to Willian, who chests it down. Time ticking away as Azpilicueta sends it in towards the back post. Barkley's there. There is Higuain dropping for him. Can't do so. Free kick was given against Barkley in the first place for pressure he applied on Herrera.
So that's where Giroud, it's crying out for Giroud, surely. You know, when you just need a little opener to give you some hope, and you put a ball in the box like that, you need someone good, strong. And that's what Giroud...
that could be the first time a central midfield player from Chelsea's actually got in the box tonight.
But Herrera did brilliantly, I think. The way he stooped just in front of him and then held Barkley almost on the blind side of the officials and just almost pulled him into him, so it looked like he was fouling him more than he probably was. Chelsea's two substitutes that they're warming up now are Davide Zappacosta and Olivier Giroud. Of course, if it gets to extra time, then they will have an extra substitute. They've already used two of them.
Is that wishful thinking?
Wishful thinking? More than that, it's clutching at straws.
I was just thinking, what about City United in the next round?
Well, we'll find out whether or not that's the case straight after the conclusion of this game, because we've got the draw. Mark Chapman, Darren Fletcher, part of the draw team, and we'll bring that to you very shortly here on Talk Sport. Alonso on the far side, trying to get the better of Rashford. Rashford sends it out on the far side. Bring back Mourinho, someone's singing. I don't know which one. I'm sure it's not the United fans.
Is that Mourinho, I think?
And that might be the United fans singing it then. Here is Alonso sending it out towards the far side. It's picked up by Hazard. Lovely touch onto Barkley. Can he play a square ball to Higuain? No. And Manchester United have got it again, and Chelsea's hopes of retaining the FA Cup are fading second by second here. 11 minutes to go. A foul on Alexis Sanchez on halfway. Manchester United have got it back again.
Yeah, it doesn't look as if it's going to be Chelsea's night. I think them little half chances first half missed are going to cost them dearly, and this is going to put this manager under extreme pressure.
Well, Alexis Sanchez featured a lot in the papers yesterday, didn't he? Saying he knows he hasn't been good enough since his move. He injured himself before he came on against PSG by running into a linesman, and then didn't perform properly when he did get onto the pitch. He says he's got no time to lose. He's on the pitch now as Manchester United try to see out this victory. It'll be a rare victory for them over Chelsea, an even rarer one in the FA Cup. It'll be the first time in 20 years they've beaten them in this competition.
Remarkable.
Sure. Up to Matic, tries to tuck it into Pogba, tackled by Shaw. Ricochets to Matic on halfway again, forward by Herrera. It's out by Andres Pereira to the far side, the right, where Young picks it up, and then it's tucked infield. Hazard defending deep. Oh, he's almost given the ball away. Has found Alonso, and then it's a throw-in to Manchester United over on the far side. Eddie Smart, who is the official over there, spotted a little deflection off Alonso, and it goes out for a United.
Gordon Hazard, he's got some energy, hasn't he?
Alan, for a technically gifted player, who, as I said to you, the first half hour was magnificent. He's running back there, getting a tackle in, trying his best. I can say this performance, I don't think you can point a finger at anybody in Chelsea and say, listen, you've had an off night, you've not given it your best. I think they've done very well in certain areas, and technically I think they're ahead of Man United, but I just do not think they have the power when the ball is round about 25 yards out.
Is there a mentality problem, as has been suggested by the manager, do you think?
Looking at this,
are here. It's a season-defining game in some senses, in the fact that they've just been beaten 6-0.
Yep.
Here's Azpilicueta looking for.
So you look at the box again now.
In terms of technique, they're a better team. Chelsea are a better technique, but in terms of how to win the game and play common sense football, then Man United are a better team because they've got more power in the box when they get wide.
So they get the ball wide, then I'm looking who's in the box. Higuain, and there's 4 red shirts around them. Everyone else is all on the edge of the box. It's not good.
What about this for a substitution then? The last substitution that they're going to make, Chelsea, right back for right back. Zappacosta on, Azpilicueta off.
No, sorry, he's lost the plot. He's lost the plot.
Oh, listen, you've got to remember.
See you later.
You've got to remember that he could be injured. He could be injured, Azpilicueta. Let's make sure we have all the facts before we...
Even if he's injured, do you make a different substitution? Do you not bring on another right back? Do you bring on a forward anyway for the last 9 minutes of what could be
your FA
Cup campaign?
You have a point there.
Well, it's one that I'm going to have to discuss with Maurizio Sarri when I go down the tunnel straight after the game, and we'll try and get those interviews back to you as quick as possible tonight here on Talk Sport, so that you can hear them before we go off air. We've got the quarter-final draw to come. We've got Andy Goldstein and his sports bar. Chelsea fans might be falling in their droves. 08717 223344. Not sure they'll want to speak to Andy, though. He might be gloating tonight. Alan's back on your radio tomorrow morning. It's a bit Manchester United centric, though, isn't it, with Lee Sharp and Danny Higginbottom all together?
Yes.
Here is Rudiger. Chelsea offering very much, and the Manchester United fans in fine voice away to our left, singing. Right side, and Young sends it down the right side of the box, looking to try and find Rashford. Away by Alonso up to the left-hand side, where it's picked up by Eden Hazard. Hazard curls it wide to Willian. Willian now trying to run at Alexis Sanchez. He goes on the outside. Zappacosta gets in his way a little bit, comes back to Zappacosta, and now it's with Conte. Zappacosta weighing up across, waits, now finds Willian, plays it square. Jorginho down into the centre of the penalty area. Higuain goes down once the penalty. Referee says no. Ball runs clear, picked up by Matic, went behind for a corner surely. The referee hasn't given it, and the linesman on the near side has. Will there be a review here for a penalty?
Well, to be fair, he's got a record for bumping into people this morning. I think he's very rash, and he panics in certain situations. You know, you make sure that the one that went in earlier wasn't but he's got a record.
No penalty. The referee's checked it. Check over, move on. Here is the corner kick into the near post. Went Barkley up there for a header, didn't get it. Matic controlled it. Pogba leads the charge, and a sorting counter-attack over the halfway. He sent it left. He's found Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez trying to squeeze it back to the far side, and Andreas Pereira, who might just keep it in but won't do anything else with it. It was another lightning Manchester United break. but this time they couldn't get a shot on target. Away to our
Luiz
left.
has just
David Luiz has just gone right through the back of Paul Pogba. The referee didn't even blow his whistle.
Well, you could hear it from here as well, couldn't you? You could hear it from here. I think it's it's just, watch this. Bang.
The ball had gone by 5 yards.
I'm not having that. I think Pogba thought he was expecting a tackle, but David Luiz didn't really tackle him. He pulled it, and that's why Pogba and the Man United players are not making a big thing, but they knew what happened there.
I tell you what, Solskjaer again, what a run, apart from that Champions League defeat, what a run of victories he's had. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. It will be their first victory at Stamford Bridge over Chelsea since October 2012. One defeat in 13 games for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that against PSG. Chelsea scored a late equaliser in the league game between the two. Chelsea. Long ball forward by Romero, looking for Rashford. It was just a big kick from the goalkeeper, and then Chelsea should have dealt with it, almost missed it, and then there was pinball between two defenders which could have run through to Rashford.
I think Rashford's had a great game. He's taken him up the pitch.
Here's Willian in behind the defence, just trying to turn. Needs a bit of support, comes to Barkley, steps over it and leaves it for Pereira. Given away. Sorry, Gordon, you were saying?
I just think Rashford, again here, he's willing to run in behind, he's willing to close down, he's willing to take fouls, he's made a goal. I think he's had a terrific game.
Manchester United may not have been perfect in that first half, but they've certainly been excellent in the way they've executed the game plan. And they've come to London and taken a place in the quarter-finals. Unless, here's Higuain in the area waiting for a cross from Hazard.
I tell you what, he's got through some work, Hazard, and he just can't find anyone. Someone's got, I don't know, his final ball just goes to the red shirt.
Here is Willian from Barkley's pass. Again, there's 7 red shirts back. Chelsea fans starting to leave the ground in numbers now. The Manchester United fans don't want to leave. They're having one hell of a party at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea haven't had a shot on target in this game since the 11th minute of the match.
Yeah, loss of possession, tippy-tappy, but not good enough.
United about to qualify for the quarter-finals for the 5th successive season. They haven't done that since 1966. But they will under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Pogba's run himself into the ground as well today. The mud scraped up the back of his shorts tells you that. The white paint of the lines on his kneecaps as Zappacosta comes forward, running towards the edge of the United penalty area. He finds Hazard now. He's tackled by Herrera. It breaks down and Rashford would lead the charge away.
Well
Hazard's
done, Hazard.
got back to tidy up his mistake, but still Chelsea no closer to getting a goal in the game, Alan.
It's gone. The game's gone, hasn't it? United, great performance from Manchester United. 2 clinical, great passes, great goals.
Hazard down the left, skating forward, takes a deflection off him and goes out for a goal kick. It'll be interesting to see now what the reaction is, because we had Bruce Buck down watching the training drills in Malmo earlier on Thursday as the players were warming up. With all the talk that Abramovich has sort of lost interest, he's not present anymore, he hasn't attended a match since his visa wasn't renewed. Do you think that that was just to show everyone we are still watching, we are still interested?
Yeah, it's just beginning to turn the other way now. But before tonight's game, you look at the league position, what they were left in. It's now suddenly is melting away the chance of success here.
Do you think he has to win the cup on Sunday to keep his job, Maurizio Sarri, Gordon?
Depends on the performance. Depends on if the board, the people in power, they can see light at the end of the tunnel, because at this moment in time they see a lot of good football, a lot of passing, a lot of stuff that's actually it worries me that everything goes through Hazard. I don't see any other 2 players linking together or doing something special that's going to go, and that worries me.
Well, when he first arrived, there was relief that he'd put butter back on the table, allowed the odd treat at the training ground, relaxed some of the rules that Antonio Conte had put in. But the results have undermined the processes in recent weeks, the repetitive training sessions that are always scheduled in the afternoon that the players aren't really used to and don't particularly like. It just means that when things don't go right and the system doesn't work, all of a sudden the players start to lose a little bit of faith in the methods.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with Chelsea's fitness, that's for sure.
No.
It's a system. They haven't got a plan B. Simple as that. If Hazard's not getting the better of the opposition and creating, tap-ins, where else are the goals coming from?
I think there's the one style of football during the game is easy for defenders to pick. Whether it is throwing the ball in the box all the time, defenders get used to it, or playing the ball about the edge of the box like this. Defenders get used to it. What they don't like is a variation.
Long ball into the box looking for Alonso, chests it down, tries to bicycle, kick the ball into the net, can't do so, uses his body falls to the floor and it goes behind and away for a goal kick. 5 minutes of added time. Now that's quite a big amount of added time.
Well, that goes in for a start. I know it was a hard chance, but he's falling backwards. He tries the bicycle. If it goes in suddenly, 5 minutes left, you think, hello.
Are we going to get the urgency that Arsenal didn't give us when they had 11 minutes of added time?
I think Gordon's right. United have worked the socks off, but they are looking a bit leggy as well.
If Chelsea do fancy it, they've got to show that now. Here's Alexis Sanchez at the other end, trying to get beyond Rudiger, loses out, and now Conte brings it up to halfway. Barkley from Hazard, back to Hazard again. He goes down the left. He's got Higuain waiting in the centre. Conte's just pulled back a little bit. Barkley tries to chip the ball to Zappacosta, who's coming in far side. He scoops it into the area. Hazard rises to win a header, but it's looped well wide of goal and out for a
He's a star in any team in the world, him. He's a star in any team in the world. He can do anything apart from leap in the air and head in the back of the net. That's the only thing he's not done.
If you're Real Madrid, you're watching, even a game like this when Chelsea have been beaten 2-0, you're watching a thing. He could only improve our side if you manager Real Madrid or Barca.
Well, he says he's made a decision on his future. Widely expected to be that he leaves in the summer. He got 17 goals last season. He's already got 15 this season. No one's got anywhere near that in a Chelsea shirt. They will miss him if he does go. That's for sure. He'll cost a few bob. Here is Zappacosta as McTominay prepares to come on as the final United change. Lindelof over halfway. On to Pogba. Pogba does a lovely turn and plays it out to Rashford. Rashford now running towards the edge of the area. It's moved towards the corner flag where Pogba is again joining the scrap to keep hold of the ball. And then here comes Rudiger to take it off him and trying to get the better of Rashford. And then he's pulled to the floor and a free kick is given. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 2 in the FA Cup. Live on TalkSport with the Sun Football. Visit thesun.co.uk for all the latest results and news. And are we going to get the final change here? No. They're playing games down on that touchline. They've sat McTominay down and then got him back up.